Hello guys, I welcome you back to JN Graphic Tutorials. In this session of tutorials we are going to design something like this. But before then, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, I just want you to subscribe to this channel for more amazing content like this. So let's head on to our Photoshop and let's start creating something new. So these are the resources that we are going to use for our tutorial, and also this is the text that we also be using for our tutorial. So let's start creating something new. So I will just hit on my new. I will set my width to 1100, height to 1100, then I will leave the resolution to be 300. Then let us give it a title as church flyer, like this. Then after that, let us hit on create. So guys, this is the background that we are going to use for our today's session of tutorial. So first of all, let us go to our view and go to our guides and go to our new guide layout. So I just want to bring this in so that we know that we are doing everything in alignment. So after we are done with this, we are going to create a solid background. So I will just go to my solid background and pick a very deep brown color like this. So you can pick a code of 260901. So 260901, then you go on and hit on OK. So I will set my foreground color also to a very light brown color. So you can pick a code of 9B930716. Then we go on and hit on OK. So we will go and set our gradient, and we will change our gradient style to radial. Then we can tilt the angle to about 55.67, something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So now after we are done with this, we start importing our resources. So we'll go to our file and go to our place link, and then we start importing our resources. So we will just bring this resource inside and make sure that it takes the entire background, something like this. So after I'm done with this, I will hold Shift Control Alt plus B, then I will just desaturate it to something like this. Then I will hit on OK. So I will come to this background and change the blending option to something like soft light. Then I hit on my OK. Then on this background again, I'll go to my filter and go to my blur and go to my Gaussian blur. So I just want to blur it a little bit like this. So something about 26.3 is very cool. So this is what actually I just want to make very nice and very amazing. So I can go on and bring my next resource. So this time I just want to bring in this thing here. So I will just resize it a little bit like this. Very nice and very amazing. So I just want to change the blending option to something like overlay. Then I just select it and go to my filter, go to my blur and go to my motion blur, something like this. Very nice and awesome. So I will just hit on OK. So I will try to expand it so that it will take most of the background like this. Then I will reduce the opacity to about 45. Let's reduce it a little bit to 39, something like this. Very nice and beautiful. So I can take my brush and be brushing around it like this. So I can be brushing around it like this. So after I have finished brushing around the entire image, I'll go on and import another resource. So I'll go to my place link again, and this time I will also bring in the same background again. So this time I just want to resize it and push it to the top of the flyer, something like this. So this is what actually I just want to make. So I will select it and change the blending option to something like, let's give it something like color dodge. Very nice and very amazing. So I will just select it and pick my brush, and I can reduce the brush a little bit like this, and now I will do some small cleaning just around it. So this is what I actually want to make. Very nice and very amazing. So now after we are done with this, we will still go on and import other resources in. So this time I just want to import this guitar inside the flyer. Very nice and very amazing. So I just want to expand it a little bit like this. Very nice and very cool. So we will just be expanding it until we get something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So I can go on and still be expanding it, so until I get something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So after we are done with this, I just want us to add other gradient to it. So I just want us to change this gradient to a very dark brown color, something like this. Then we will just create another gradient to it. So this is what I actually want us to do. Very nice and very amazing. So after we are done with this, we can go on and be adding our typography to it. So I just want to pick my typography tool here and start typing something. So I just want to write something like Pentecostal, something like this. So I will just select it and make sure that it is actually a white color, something like this. Very nice and amazing. So I can go to my panel here to check whether everything is cool and nice. So I actually want to set the size of this one to about 25.9, something like this. Then also I just want to make sure that the height of the text is 120. Then we will leave the space to -25. So this is actually what I just want to make. So I'll make sure that it is centrally aligned, or I just place it at the center, something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So I can go on and type another thing again. So this time I just want to type something like gratitude in capital letters. So I will select it and make sure that it is actually a Roboto font. Then it is also a black one. So I will just go to my panel here and I make sure that the spaces between it is -50, and this is actually the height of the text too will be 150, something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So I will just place it just under it. So I can go on and reduce the size of the text. So we can reduce the size of the text to something about 22. Let's see whether 22 will be very cool for us. So I think 22 is very perfect and very nice. So this is what actually I just want us to pick. Very nice and very beautiful. So on this panel here, or on this layers here, I will just push the Pentecostal upward so that the Pentecostal will be up on the gratitude. So I'll pick the Pentecostal and add some shadows. I'll go to the effect and add some drop shadows to it. So this is what actually I just want to do. Very nice and very amazing. So I just want to add some effect to the gratitude. So I will go to my file and go to my place link, and this time I just want to bring this golden texture into it. So I will just place the golden texture on top of the gratitude and create a clipping mask to it. So this is what actually I just want to bring in. Very nice and very, very amazing. So now I can move the gratitude to wherever I just want it to be. Very nice and amazing. So after I'm done with this, we'll go on and add something like of praise and worship. So I will just select it once again. This time I'll make sure that it is actually a regular font. Then I'll go back and set the height of the text to a normal height, so 77 will do. So we will go on and also reduce the size of the text to about 12. Very nice and amazing. So I can just be decreasing it to the extent that I just wanted it to be. So I think this is nice and amazing. So after we are done with this, I can just select all the text that I have just placed inside and just push them downwards like this. Very nice and very amazing. So this is what I actually want us to do. So you can also be increasing it like this to however you just want it to be. Very nice and very amazing. So this is what we are just having now. Very nice and very beautiful. So we can reposition everything as we just want it to be on the flyer. Very attractive and very, very amazing. So I just want to push this thing a little bit downwards. A little bit downwards like this. Very nice and very amazing. So now after we have done with this, we will go on and be adding some typography to what we have just made. So I just want us to go on and create a box just under what we have just made, a box like this. Very nice and amazing. So we can go on and make sure that it is actually a brown, a dark brown, or a black color. So I think a black color is actually a very cool color for us to use. So I will just place it just beneath the text that I have just brought inside. So in this thing we are going to add a text to it. So I will just go to where our texts are. Then I just want to bring this thing inside. So I will just copy it and come and pick my typography tool. So I just want to bring in this thing. So Ctrl+V to bring all these things. So I will select it and make sure that I reduce the spaces to about something 9. Then let us reduce the size of the text to about 8, something like this. Very nice and amazing. So we can just make sure that it is centrally aligned. Then we just place it on the box that we have just made. Something like this is very cool and beautiful. So we can just be adjusting how we just want the text to be in the box. Very nice and very, very amazing. So this is what we actually want to do. So I just want to select it again and reduce the space it up a little bit. So let's make it -25. I think -25 will actually do the magic. So this is what actually I just want us to do. Very nice and very amazing. So after we are done with this, we are going to add the date and the time to what we have just made. So we can go on and go to this panel here. So I just want us to create a circle like this. Very nice and very awesome. Then we will add a gradient to this circle that we have made. So we select the circle and we right click it and go to the blending option. So we can give it a gradient color. So a gradient color like this. So you can pick a color of a code of D08F13 for the first color, and the last color can be C0640B. Very nice and amazing. You go on and hit on OK and OK. So in this circle we are going to add the date of the program. So I just want to add a date. So let us add something like 18th. Let us make sure that it is actually a bold font, and let us increase the size a little bit to about 14. So 18th like this. So we can also reduce the size a little bit and put it inside the box. Very nice and very amazing. So we can go on and duplicate this 18th and bring it down. So we can select it and type something like June. Very nice. Then we can also do the same to the June. Duplicate the June and type something like 23 to 8. So the program is actually taking place on 18th June 2023. Something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So we can go on and add some strokes to our circle. So you can reduce the strokes a little bit like this, and you can also change the color of the stroke to anything that you want it to be. So I think something like this is very cool. So we will just hit on OK like this. So we will also create another circle again. So we can duplicate the circle here and bring it to its side and reduce it this time to an extent like this. Very nice and amazing. So we will just select this circle, the duplicate, and go to our blending option. This time we just want to give it a solid color. So we will just go to our color overlay and give it a very black color overlay, something like this. Then we go to the stroke and make sure that it is actually a white stroke, something like this. Very nice and very amazing. So after we're done with this, we are going to add the time of the program. So we will just add the time to the program. So you can type something like 7 AM like this and just bring it on it. So we can just reduce the size to an extent like this. Very nice and very, very amazing. Then we can add a little text to it like prompt. So we select it and make sure that it is actually a medium font. Then we reduce the size to the smallest that we can do. Then we bring it just under the time. So we can just increase the time a little bit like this, so that it will just look amazing in the circle. Very nice and very amazing. So after we are done with this, we can go on and import some resources in. So I just want to bring this resource in, a location symbol, then I will just bring it just here. So I just want to reduce it to an extent like this. So this location symbol, we are going to our blending option and give it a color overlay. So I just want the color overlay to be something like a yellow fonts, very nice and beautiful. Then we will just hit on OK. So on this yellow font, just want to give the location of the program. So you can type something like school dining, or very nice and amazing. So we can select it like this and reduce the size of it. Then we can bring it just under like this, very nice and very amazing. So this is how everything is looking, very awesome and very amazing. So after we are done with this, it was left with few things for us to conclude. So we can go on and bring other resources inside. So I just want to bring the name, the church logo to it, very nice and amazing. Then we will add some typography to it. So I just want to type something like Pentecost Students and Associates, something like this, very nice and beautiful. So I can go on and select it and reduce the size to an extent like this. So this is what actually I just want us to do. So we can just select the church name and give it a little space. So I just want to give it a little space of 6, something like this is very nice and amazing. So we can go on and add our presence to it. So I just want to add something like presence, then we can give it a color like the yellow font, very nice and amazing. Then we position it very well at the top of the flyer. So we can go on and decrease it a little bit like this. So this is what actually I just wanted to do. So after we are done with this, we will still go on our place link and bring other resources to it. So I just want us to bring this flare to our design to make everything awesome and very beautiful. So I will expand it like this and change the blending option to something like screen, very nice and amazing, to make our design look awesome and very, very beautiful. So this is actually how everything is looking like. So after we are done with this, I just want to select the flare and just clean around it. I just want to select the flare and clean around the flare to make it blend with the background so perfectly. So after we are done with this, I will just give it a very close look to see that everything that I just did is in alignment. So I can be adjusting the text that I just typed inside. So I think everything is actually looking cool and amazing. So this is the end of our tutorials. So I have just placed all the resources just below the description. You can go on and download and just learn along with this amazing tutorial. So I just want to thank you, and I just want to also remind you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel for more amazing content like this. So we are going to meet in another tutorials again. So see you. God bless you. Bye bye.